Hey, my beautiful friends. So I'm in the floor in the kitchen because I have a huge tote over here that I'm going to go through for day 2 of the 30 bags in 30 days. So I've actually I know that I have done more than a bag today. Me and Michael went to church this morning. When we came home, I cleaned all the garbage on my vehicle because I do not litter, and we have just left stuff in the car. So I cleaned a little bag out of it, and then there was actually sun out today. So me and Michael cleaned the yard, picked up things, that had just accumulated over the winter, cleaned up the porch, just different things. And so we had some bags from that. So we definitely had over a bag just doing that today. But when I come in, I was just so drained, and I don't know if it's where my back was hurting or what. But I told him, I said, I need to do my declutter, the 30 bags in 30 days. I said, I am so tired. He said, well, take you a nap and declutter your mind. So that didn't take much convincing, let me tell you. It did not take much convincing to get me in that recliner. So I had taken a nap, and I slept for 3 hours, y'all. I'll be up all night tonight. Probably not, because I'm still tired, but anyway. I have the tote here. It's a big tote. And I will try to show you what's in here as I get it out, because the way I'm crammed in this little spot, it's hard to show you down inside the tote. But I'm just going to go through it and see if there's even one thing. And I have racked my mind thinking, what can I declutter? What can I go through? This shelf, like I said, is probably the one place that we have the most junk in this entire house that we have not been through, because a lot of this is just like stuff from when I've been in school, stuff when I've homeschooled the kids, art and crafts and that kind of stuff. And so this is the one place that collects the most clutter. So let's get to it. Okay, this is a sewing thing. You go around it when you're cutting out quilt pieces. I will keep this. This thing's wore out because I've cut around it so many times. Like I said, I used to quilt, but I'm going to keep that. And then I have my stuff from when I used to quilt, and I'm going to look through here and see if there's anything in here that I can get rid of, because some of this stuff is really old, and I don't necessarily think that I'm going to use. I've used up most of my thread, but I don't necessarily think I'm going to use up this many things of red thread. Let me see if I can show you. Over here, I have like a lot of red in here. I don't think that I'm going to use up all this red thread. And this is pretty old. This is like J&P Coats dual duty polyester thread when it was 30 cents. See if you can see that. I'm sure my mom gave me this, or I got it at an estate sale or something, because this is an old thread. I may see if my mom wants these back, if she's the one who gave them to me, because there's another one. Coats and Clark's, 19 cents. Can you see that? Is it going to focus? But I will not use these. I know I won't use this much red thread. Here's another one of the ones that was 30 cents. And that still leaves me with 4 of these. I'll keep these. I think 4 is more than enough. Then I have 2 of the darker ones. I really think this is still too much. I don't plan on doing much sewing anymore. I just don't have the patience anymore for it, so I think I might ask Mom if she wants a couple of these, actually. may give her 2 more of these if she wants them. If she don't want them, I'll give them to somebody else. Because I know I'm not going to use that much red thread. So that leaves me 2 of the dark and 2 of the lighter reds. Then I have just a little bit of a very, very light pink. It's not even a full, whatever, of thread. Spool. Could not think of the word. And this one right here is older than I don't even know what. It's white. I'm going to keep it though. These were like 2 for $1 from Walmart. This stuff is old. I had to get this one's black. I had to get these at an estate sale or something. I don't even remember. This one's black. So like black and white I'll keep because those colors are like ones that, you know, if you have to repair something, more than likely you'll use black, white, tan, something like that. I have a thread running somewhere. Okay. I had thread going everywhere. Stuck completely in the wrong place. And this one is a green. And I'll keep that because maybe at Christmas sometime I'll need that. Pair of, this is not scissors, it's like, I don't know what you call them. They're for like sutures or something. I'll keep that in case I need to, when you flip something inside out, you need to grab inside of it and pull. I'll keep those. Oh, let me ask you, what do you call these? What would you call this? A safety pin? Listen, when I grew up calling this a latch pin. This is a latch pin. And I'll tell my kids, give me a latch pin. And they're like, oh, what? Yeah. And then I have this color. It's like a coral. I will never use that in a million years. So I'm going to give that to Mom. My needles, I'll keep those. My sewing machine needles. There's a couple bobbins, but I have a bazillion of them somewhere. I've just got to find them. And then these are for like making a rag quilt where you're going to fray the edges and you just snip the very edge of the quilt so that it'll fray. A lady I know that passed away recently bought me these because I said I was going to make one, but I didn't know how I'd do the edges because it's going to be very hard to do the whole quilt. And I actually did. I made it out of a checkered material when all the really rustic stuff was in, I guess, in style back early 2000s or something. Primitive material kind of stuff was in style. And so I used denim and then like yellow, blue, red, green, like checkered materials, and made one. And then I think I gave it to my sister, and I put flannel on the back. It turned out really good. I'll have to find a picture and show you guys sometime. But she gave me that at that time whenever I needed it. And some more. This is just like hand sewing needles. We got 2 of those. I'll keep those in case not that I ever hand sew anything, but in case I ever need to. Crochet thing. Hook. Not that I crochet. My mom can crochet. And I guess it's for like seam allowances or something. I have no idea what this is for. I have no idea where I come up with it at. But keep it. Because I'm sure it serves a purpose. And this is for like marking fabric. I'll keep those. This is a fabric pin. I'll keep that. I don't know what this is for. Or why I have it. Unless it's for like clay or something. I don't know what that's for. Anybody know what this is for? Because I have never used this. It may have a really important purpose that I just don't know. Another fabric pencil. And Well, that was almost a catastrophe. And then this is a little thing to cut. It's like an X-Acto knife. It's got the thing with it, but I don't know how that even happened. I'll end up cutting myself here. Let's get Michael to fix that. I'll lay that there, and I'll try to fix that in a minute. Put my pencils up. And then I have a seam ripper that I've had forever. Look at that, it's cracked all to pieces. Just a little seam ripper. And let me tell you, I have ripped a lot of seams because I make mistakes and end up having to tear them back out. And then a bunch of crocheting hooks. And I have more crochet hooks that are plastic somewhere, so I probably should put all those together if I didn't give those plastic ones away. I just never crochet. I always say, I want to learn, but I just don't have time and patience to sit down and learn it. Oh, and I found the other crocheting hooks. See, these are the plastic ones. I really want to learn. When I get time, I'm going to learn it. But today is not the day. Let's put them all down in here. In this little thing. Except this one. This big one won't fit in here because it won't close. See? So the big one will have to stay in here. And then these can all go in here. And it's like this. And I'll just put them all inside my sewing box. Let's see if there's anything else that goes in here. Oh, yes. This is a bunch of needles, sewing machine and hand stitch, a patch. I guess I better keep that patch because that matches some of my son's pants he wears sometimes. And he might need to patch something. Cutter, I'll keep that. I've got them in like a little, this all in like a little bow. It's all just like the, oh, look at this. This is made out of leather. This is really neat. This is like a, keep you from, yeah. Why is my brain not working tonight? Well, my brain don't work half the time, but it's a thimble. Had to think a minute. So when you, what is wrong with my brain? When you're hand stitching, you won't poke your fingers. But yeah, this one's leather. Very neat. That one was my sister-in-law's that passed away. And then this is just a bunch of little feet for the sewing machine. So, and then a little cleaning brush. So that all has to stay in this little thing, but it won't fit in here in this case, so it will have to be down in here. And then I've had this since my son was little, this little sandwich thing, and he's 23 now. And this is a bunch of just little stick pins and latch pins. And then there's my other bobbins. Different color threads I've used over the years. And oh, I was gonna say, what does this have to do with? But this goes, I don't know why it's in my sewing stuff, but I'll have to give this to Michael. This actually goes to our deep freezer. I don't know why it's in with my sewing stuff though. I need to, where does it go? Where would you put this? I don't know. It's probably why it ended up in my sewing stuff, but taking it out because it's not really where it belongs. And then just the instructions. There's something else down in here. What is in here? more bobbins, more thread. Another foot. Maybe I should take it out of this. Okay. It was 2 little plastic bobbins. Most of my bobbins are the metal ones, but I will keep these just in case I need them for some reason. Some more little sewing machine needles. I'll put them with these others over here. And then these are feet to the sewing machine. And I guess that's where that one I said, what in the world, where did it come from? I guess it came from another sewing machine, because this one that came with the sewing machine has the same kind of thread there as this one. So I guess that's where it came from. It was from another sewing machine I had a bazillion years ago. So, what I do with my feet? What I do with my feet? They're not attached to my legs. No. Put them in there. Okay. So that is all my sewing, I think. Stuff. Nope. I got one more thing. A hoop. Keep this for when I've only tacked like 1 or 2 quilts, but like when I tack a quilt, I have used this. I will never hand stitch a quilt. Never, probably in a million years. I will never probably be doing embroidery or anything like that. But, you know, never say never. But I have used it to tack a quilt. So I will hang on to this in case I decide I want to tack another quilt. I'll put it in here. But the last time I think I used my mom's big hoop when I tacked a quilt. She's a gigantic one, but I don't know. Anyway, I'll put all this back in here and then I will get the other stuff. Okay, so I found the foot that goes to my sewing machine. The sewing machine is actually right here, but I don't have the foot in there. I have it in this big tote that's sitting here with the other sewing stuff. So, let me straighten this up. I don't know who did this to this. Probably me. I probably got tired and just crammed it in there. But usually I try to at least roll it up somewhat so that it ain't such a big mess in there. Okay. Now, I also found a big rope. This rope, I know exactly what it's for. We had bought it for the goats to use as a lead strap. We cut off what we needed, and then we bought it for the goats as a lead strap. We cut off what we needed, and then that was just excess rope, and we didn't want to throw it away because it's perfectly good rope. And when you have goats or a farm, you're all the time needing rope. So we kept it. So what I found these two. It's like pumpkin cutters. I had them in a bigger bag. So I think what I'm gonna do is put them in this little bag I found. Put these in here, if they'll go. Yeah, they will. Put them in there, and I'll put that back in here. And then I'll see if I can get this rope in this quart bag. Who knows if it's actually going to cram down in there, though. Because it's kind of a big rope. We'll see if we can get it in. Stuff her in there. It doesn't have to be, like, zipped up. I just don't want it to unroll down in this tote and have a big mess. That actually fit. So, it's better than it was. Even if it don't zip. I don't know if it'll zip or not. Let's try it. Ha 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 ha, it did. There we go. Now, I found some chalk pastels that evidently one of my children have lost the case to it. So I will have to find a Ziploc bag to put this in. And I think I'm going to put this up there with the rest of my chalks so that we can kind of keep things together. And then I know that was my children because here is also one of their art pencil kits that was theirs. And I found a Walmart receipt. Oh, and these are like little button snaps. I think you use a press or a hammer. And somebody had just thrown them in there. So I think I'm going to put that down in my little sewing kit to kind of keep up with them. Okay, this looks a lot better. Oh, and a sewing manual, another sewing manual, probably for a different sewing machine. But I'll kind of keep it just in case something goes horribly wrong and I need it. Okay, I'll show you what this tote looks like now. Can you see? It's just... Also, sorry guys. I also found some of my paintings. Now let me give the disclaimer that I am not an artist. These are just things I did for fun. So, don't be looking for some, I was gonna say Da Vinci, but I don't even, some super artist, okay? Somebody who's gonna be painting the ceilings and hanging in museums. This is just for fun. Okay, here's a cow, a Highland cow that I did. And I know that I have more stacked up here, but here is a pearl. And a shiny goldfish. I don't know if you can see it shining or not. A gnome. A cat with a spider. This has been since, I don't have a date on it, but this was a long time ago. This was probably 3 or 4 years ago when I did that cat. Flower. Two cats. So I think it actually kind of goes like this. It's supposed to go like this. And a cow. I like this one. This one's cute, see? So let me get the others and I'll show you those two while I'm at it. Okay, so I actually decided to take the rope out of that tote and put it right here because this basket is all goat stuff. This entire huge basket is goat things, if I can get it in there. And I need to go through that. It's all medicines and stuff. It just needs organized. But anyway, I'll put that there for now because it is goat related. Okay, now I think I might have showed you these like way back my first video, maybe. I don't know. These are some paintings I've done too. These are, let's see if these, some of them's older, some's more recent. Again, they're nothing spectacular. Here is a pumpkin with flowers and bats and ghosts. Just something I do sometimes to relax. And then here's a little lantern. It's not my favorite one. And I have gotten rid of a lot that I've done that I thought were absolutely hideous. I know that cat one, that was like the green background with the cat. I think I did that same painting like 4 or 5 times at different classes they had at the library. And I got rid of all those except one, and I still ain't crazy about it. Another cow. And this one's an older one too. This one's probably been, we don't have a date on it, just has my name. I'm gonna start writing the dates on these. I'm gonna say that was probably 3 or 4 years ago. This one's so funny. It's cute, but he's also kind of, he looks like he might have a few polar bear problems. And then this one is one that I started, and I actually thought it was turning out cute, but then I just got really busy and abandoned it and never did finish it. But these are supposed to be leaves going around his head. I never did finish like his tail and his cup, the leaves. I may eventually finish him. And then I've painted several for people and gave them to them just because they thought they were cutesy, not because they thought that I had any special talents or anything. But yeah, that's just something I like to do. I like anything artsy, just not because I'm talented in it, but because it relaxes me. So I like to paint, I like to draw, I like to do calligraphy, I like to do any kind of like lettering, I like to color, I like to do anything like that. Anything that just like your mind can zone out, I like to do that because, like I said in previous videos, I just like to zone my brain out. But anyhow, that is all for that tote. So I guess that's all for day 2. We'll do a different tote on a different day. But I maybe didn't find a bag full of stuff, but I found, let me get them situated here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things of thread that I can get rid of. So I'll call it a win. I was looking for one thing, I found 7 out of that one tote. For a late night declutter, day 2.